What's up, people? Punch here. So I want to talk about Rogue Voltage because it will be releasing from early access into 1.0 May 1st, 2026. And if people haven't seen my video talking about the early access version of Rogue Voltage, we'll talk about it a little bit in this video. But essentially, it's going to be releasing from early access after about a couple years of development, and they currently have the beta going on right now for the 1.0 edition. But essentially, they have daily runs that will be happening with the release of Rogue Voltage. They also did a couple of new things as well by adding a couple of other characters. But they have a total of 11 characters, I think, currently right now, with 2 you have to unlock. In terms of the camp works as basically a hub world to be able to like buy additional modules, generators, and anything to help your characters through the runs that you're currently playing. You have refineries, you have slot machines that are like random completely for different types of things that I think cost 2 plasma per. And if you want to build new buildings, you have to use plasma to get building material. But the 11 different characters you have are Slopper Johnson and Jackson, which are the default characters. You have Kimmy, Alice, Plasma Bot, Asha, Jesse S, Soul, the Nomad, and I think the last 2 are Nana and Mecha. But they have their own different types of skill sets and abilities when you play them, and they have 4 different types of difficulty modes: impossible, hard, normal, and easy. But when you play Rogue Voltage, the way that it works, they say it's a card game, but essentially what it actually is that you are taking a generator, which is the bottom portion that has like a circuit that goes up. You're attaching it to a module and you're powering it up with that generator to do a specific amount of damage. Say, for example, you have a plasma generator that costs 1 plasma but gives you 2 energy. If that goes into a blaster, that does 2 damage. If you have a 3 storage, that does 3 damage, and so on and so forth. You have other ones as well, like a gravitational generator or gravitational blaster that will make the initiative order go farther, and that's on the top right side of the screen. So what you have is the different types of icons of your character, Jackson and Johnson, and enemies that you fight. And you have different types of gravitational. You have minus and plus. Minus will push your character back, plus will push them forward. And this will change the different type of initiative order. So if you go a little bit farther out, you'll be first or second or third, depending upon whose icon is first. If you are about the same as the enemy, you will go first every single time, and then the enemy will go after you. They could also push you back with gravitational powers themselves, and I would be wary of this when it comes down to them pushing you into like a red circular type of area. For example, if you do get pushed in that area, it will do 2 damage to Jackson or Johnson, or even both at the same time. And those are lightning strikes, volcanoes, and other different types of hazards that will be a prevalent annoyance in this game. And they'll push you into it. They will do 2 damage to you from the environmental damage, and the creature will do 1 or 2 damage depending upon what you're fighting. Bosses will sometimes do 1 or 3 damage, or even more so if they have a vulnerability on top of your character, which is additionally plus 1 damage. The other thing is that you could push yourself using your own gravitational blaster to get out of those hazard areas, but sometimes they'll also do a gravitational type of event to where everybody goes back in reverse and then into that type of hazard area that you will still take damage anyway. It's basically an RNG play that if you don't want to get hit, basically pray that it doesn't happen to you. But when you win combat, you'll get loot. You'll either get a skip to where you get 1 or 2 plasma. You could re-roll into other different types of modules, or you can get a various different amount. You can get vulnerability, you can get a storage container, you can get medical, you can also get legendary items that allow you to get more storage, and so on and so forth. When I was talking about earlier of the camp, you can go on here and get the plasma generation via combat. As long as you have 1 plasma in your plasma storage, you could generate more. And the plasma generator you see on the bottom left side of the screen to where it's a purple generator, but it's a universal circuit, that can generate 2 each time. If I have at least 1 cost, I will always generate 2. And that's why I do it, so that even though I lose 1, I will always gain plus 1 on there. And then I can go ahead and get maybe 10, 15 different types of plasma, and then buy what I need to at the camp. Slot machine is a random. It always costs 2. You can sometimes get legendary or epic. They also have a vending machine to where you can change the different types of circuits. Say, for example, you have a purple blaster but have a red circuit. You can change that into a purple. You could also get different types of modules that will help you out. Like I said earlier, the polluted generator will do 1 damage to one of your characters before generating 2 energy. You also have different generators that just normal, like green, purple, universal, red, and they can go onto the other characters that can be slotted in the rack themselves. They have other ones to where you can get a barrier, which protects Jackson and Johnson for a single turn. You could also get ones that will do crusting, and what that does is it will freeze your module, but you can't use it. The only way to use it is if you activate it, get rid of the crusting, and then activate it again, and that could be useful later. They have other ones as well, like a induction type of fan that will give you energy on non-cracked modules. Cracked modules are basically things that can be used once and then they're gone. But there are too many modules to really talk about or get through the entire thing because there's about 150 plus of them. So they added from the early access days to now 1.0 quite a bit. And I mean, they've even added some new ones I don't even know about that have different types of effects and abilities that might be a unlockable thing later. Per run, you'll unlock more as you go, whether you win or lose, and even sometimes unlocking new characters. I got all mine through progression. Not even through the beta, because I just played the normal live version before the beta happened. So you're going to have to unlock all the other characters in the game, too, when you first start off. They have other bosses in the game, too, from a mushroom to a pink, blue, and orange crab to a kind of like a walrus that will bite you and do ice crusting on your different types of modules. But I think the final boss might be the weird type of sphere, which I'll show later on down the road. And that thing is a pain in the ass because it will take the turn order and reverse it to where it will do multiple attacks on you before you even get a single chance to attack it. And the only way to deal with it is either by breaking the barrier, the thing that does the turn order change, or being able to attack the center. And that's the thing that does this thing called Doomsday Pulse. And that does damage to 1 or 2 of your characters. This is a new biome that was recently added a couple of updates ago called the Ice Biome. And this character or enemy that you're fighting is the Mammoth. While it's encrusted in that ice, you cannot do any damage to them. It will be completely nullified. But when it breaks it, it will do 1 or 2 damage to either Jackson or Johnson at completely random. So highly recommend that if you do actually fight this type of enemy, to have some type of healing or get a bunch of different potions that will heal your character up really fast if they're at 2 or 3 health. As I was stating earlier, I think this is the final boss in Rogue Voltage. Essentially, it's a sphere that will do gravitational type of events that will change the initiation order. It will also do damage to you, and it has a barrier around it, so the only way to destroy it is by taking the top and bottom portion out first, and then going for the center. The other thing I want to talk about, the gravitational, that I forgot to mention earlier, is that not only does it do push, but it does pull. I did say that there was an environmental effect that would pull you back. It could also push you forward. But this is what it'll do. Everything will turn purple, and it will reset the order to make it go first multiple times. It will push you farther and farther out there, while that thing gets to go backwards. It's a pain in the ass. I haven't really been able to beat it yet, but maybe I'll get a decent build, maybe even get some more vulnerability modules to take it out really fast. But after putting about 16 hours in the game, I've been liking it even with the new stuff that they added, and that's all I got for Rogue Voltage. If you do want to try it, there is a demo on the actual front page of Rogue Voltage. If you want to buy it, it's $16 full asking price when it hits May 1st, 2026 from early access into full, and I'll see y'all later in the next one.